It's episode 338. Doc, my back hurts. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Prime Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Skip Weiss, and as always, I have the beautiful, amazing Dr. Julie Weiss with us today. And Dr. Julie, I want to cover a topic that seems probably a little mundane as a chiropractor, like old school conversation maybe, but still incredibly prevalent in the United States population and in our parent population, back pain.
Yeah, and I think I think what maybe that is the first inkling that people maybe think about chiropractic.
Mm-hmm.
And we've tried to there's so much more to chiropractic than
There
just
is.
low back pain.
There is.
But we also understand how debilitating low back pain can
Mm-hmm.
be, and the amount of hundreds and thousands and millions of people that suffer endlessly. And sometimes if they don't have the right people in their court, or they don't know the right resource to look at, they think that it's, a medical intervention in
Mm-hmm.
surgery. And I'm sure we'll probably get into this, but there's many times that if you actually talk to a really good surgeon, most people aren't candidates for back pain. So that leaves us suffering with this back pain.
Yeah, and according to the National Institute of Health, over 55% of the adult population worldwide will deal with back pain, and 60% of them at some point in their life had seen a chiropractor, which I don't believe that, because chiropractic is not prevalent throughout the entire world. It's prevalent in the United States, it's prevalent in the UK, it's becoming more prevalent in Europe, maybe in South America some, but it is not all over the world like they like to believe. There are chiropractors in Australia as well. But yes, low back pain is extremely debilitating. And honestly, being pediatric chiropractors like Julie and I are, and family-focused chiropractors, we do see a lot of low back issues coming in. Like, there's a lot of parents that come in with low back pain. We've talked about this in our pelvic floor talks, with you talking pelvic floor with patients. Low back pain is extremely prevalent in pregnancy, extremely prevalent in adult males. Over 50% of adult males deal with low back pain. They also deal with sexual dysfunction, which goes hand in hand, but females as well.
I was going to say it's the infertility, it's the
Mm-hmm.
sexual dysfunction, it's the constipation.
Yeah.
It's all these other things that sometimes we might not think low back pain.
Yep.
But all of these things, work
Mm-hmm.
together because those are those same nerves. So somebody might be listening to this and be like, oh, I only have low back pain. But if we start to understand, well, maybe that low back pain is also attributing to my sexual health, or
Yep.
my reproduction.
Yeah.
Or why I'm always backed up,
Mm-hmm.
then we can start to, peel the skin of the onion
Mm-hmm.
off and actually find results and things that can help with these things.
Well, it's freaking debilitating. It hurts. Being someone that's dealt with low back pain now the last 2 years, which is kind of weird. And I'm a chiropractor, and they're like, well, you shouldn't have low back pain as a chiropractor. But what are the contributing factors? It's more than just subluxation. That's on the root of it. That is the cause that causes a lot of low back pain, is misalignment of the spine, causing nerve interference, not allowing the area to heal because the brain can't talk to the area properly. That is the big crux of it. But it could be coming from an injury. It could be coming from nutrition, something that's extremely inflammatory diets. But it all comes back to the instability and lack of communication in that area to keep it healthy. And it's low-hanging fruit in chiropractors' world.
Yeah.
Just like back pain, just like headaches, neck pain. It's low-hanging fruit. So to us, it's not really a challenge to get the word out on that. But also, it can be a really boring topic, and I want to change this because we've seen a lot of patients coming in, especially in the last 3 months, that have seen chiropractors, been to different physicians, been to physical therapists, had injections in their back, possible candidates for surgery now, and fed up. Absolutely fed up with the system. They're giving chiropractic one last chance, and then lo and behold, they get results at our office. And it has to do with how we take care of business.
I want to say it's not chiropractic that
No.
failed.
Nope.
It's the person. It'd be like the same thing. Like the car doesn't usually fail. It's the
Nope.
person that's driving
We're
the
taking
car
care
that
of
drove
it.
into the tree, or the
Mhm.
mechanic, right?
Mhm.
So it's not chiropractic that is the issue that's failing. It's the operators who are delivering that chiropractic adjustment.
Heck yeah. It's
That's
100%.
it's the
Mhm.
user fault.
Well, I had a patient come in. I used to see a family member, and when they had come in, I hadn't seen them in years, and they'd been getting care, a lot of care, and they said to me, I'm not even going to say a him or a her. They said to me that, is this because I'm not getting proper care? And I said, well, it depends. What in my world is proper care? And I told her what it is, and it's the analysis that finds a subluxation, and how often do we have to take care of you to get that subluxation to, in essence, go away, but the body to stay balanced and actually heal. That's the key. And the specificity of what we're doing, because there is a massive difference between chiropractors out there, but even more between chiropractors and physical therapists, people in other professions that like to manipulate the spine, get it to move, click, pop, crack, whatever it is. It's not specific. And that is, in essence, everything we do is specificity. Hell, our really close friend owns the office, the franchise called The Art of the Specific, because it's a very specific adjustment, and it has to do with the first vertebra in the neck. We're not upper spine, upper cervical chiropractors. We deal with full spine care, which is another different topic we could talk about. But it's specific or it's nothing at all. And if we're not specific in what we're doing, now we're just globally manipulating the spine. And that's where you will hear this connotation out there that chiropractic's overused. All they do is manipulate. I'm not mad. All they do is manipulate. It causes hypermobility. You don't get any stabilization. You need all these exercises, when really you need specific adjustments to the specific area, whether it's one vertebra, two vertebra, the pelvis. It's a very specific listening and a very specific correction. And we don't hit high spots. And I'm telling you, when we do the proper analysis and we look for what we're doing, we see results. And the frequency is needed. You need to see your chiropractor when you first get under care. You may have to see them daily. There are multiple children that we see daily. And people, see them 3 times a week. That's the average. Well, have you ever seen your chiropractor 4 times a week instead of 5? And then just step down slowly as your body starts to balance? And that's something that's never talked about. And then what happens is it fails, or we still have chronic low back pain. You're the best chiropractor in the world. You take care of me. And sometimes my back hurts. Why? Exercises that I did, doing 6.5 yards of mulch, painting, doing things that are just different mechanically that I haven't done in a while, or my diet was absolutely horrible for 6 months when my mom was sick. Like, that caused a lot of inflammation. But once those things get cleaned up and I have the right care by you, and it's very specific, there's a very specific analysis, lo and behold, I'm feeling pretty dang good and my body's functioning like it's supposed to, right?
Well, and I think that's the biggest thing. It's, we can talk about the pain, right? That's why people seek these things out, because they're in pain. But there's so much more. The pain is what's like outwardly coming out. The foundational thing that's been there for a long time. And so I think the people that struggle with low back pain, they go and they maybe see the chiropractor and 2-3 visits, and they do feel better, which is great. But then it's a shame on that chiropractor's part for not helping the patient to understand of, okay, your pain is going to go away, but we still have some residual foundational things that we need to address. But they don't say it, that the pain is going to come back.
It is.
And so that's why it's just this constantly, like, it keeps coming back, because we never actually got rid of the thing that's causing the problem. And so that's why we need routine. It's when we talk to parents, it's like, if you have children, And if you're working on potty training, you don't just do it 3 times a
Oh my God,
week
could
and
you
take the
imagine?
weekends off.
Could you imagine?
It would never happen.
Well, it doesn't happen. We've had people in that do that.
So it's a repetition thing, and our bodies are so smart, and it just needs to learn this new habit, this new routine. And like when we begin the beginning of the January, the New Year's resolutions, and we want to go to the gym, or when we do these habits, we need to do them over and over and over, and then our body learns this habit. Well, right now our body has a bad habit. That's why we have the low back pain. So we need to give the body something else to become the habit for that low back pain to go away. And that's what includes chiropractic.
It does change the habits. It does. And those habits start when you're young. So when you're an adult out there complaining of low back pain, or let's say you have a child and they're in their teens and they're complaining to you of low back pain, that's not normal. Like even, so the biggest thing is too, is like up here, fall sports, Wisconsin. Girls are in cross country and volleyball. Boys are in football and cross country. And all three of those are very contact related sports.
And soccer.
Soccer too. Cross country is very contact related. You just don't see what happens, right? You just don't see what happens when you can't see the kids around as they're throwing elbows and hitting each other in the head and spiking each other's ankles. Football is pretty much right in your face. It's a contact sport. Volleyball is the same thing. And so is soccer. And these things, these injuries that kids sustain during these things, they're not just because they play sports. The back pain isn't there just because they're active. Actually, because they're active, their back pain shouldn't be there. And because it's there, you should be alarmed that your child needs to seek out somebody other than the athletic trainer at their high school or their middle school, or the PT that's sitting there telling them to stretch things out, heat things up, or maybe put ice on things. Like, it doesn't work appropriately. Now, I didn't say it doesn't work. It doesn't work appropriately like it's supposed to if we had the right communication. And that's when we see pretty amazing things too. Because, again, started a new patient last week, really bad chest pain, mimicking a heart attack. In fact, after our exam, we sent him over to the ER, got him looked at. They did an echo. Everything was fine, but he was fully mirroring that of a heart attack. But we got him back in, got him adjusted. But then he went and saw the physical therapist that afternoon from his daughter. And by the next morning, feeling way better. Why? Because we both did our different jobs, got the nervous system back to communicating. They got in there, got some muscles to release, which is not our job, and got this patient back to where he was feeling better. That doesn't mean the malfunction went away, but got him back to feeling better, which then allowed him to adapt, maybe get some rest that he needed because he wasn't in a ton of low back pain anymore and shoulder pain. He hadn't slept in 3 days. Last patient that I got into that I just previously talked about, they hadn't slept in 6 months because of the low back pain, because of them being hurt. And the issue with that is that if you can't sleep, what happens?
You can't heal.
You can't heal. You can't recover. Everybody talks about recovery like crazy right now. Recovery has been a huge thing in the last 2 years, kind of going by the wayside right now because Oura Ring hasn't come out with a new ring. Fitbit's been around. Magellan's been around. Your iWatch, everybody knows it tracks your sleep if you turn that function on, which is extremely important to be doing. But recovery is a big thing, especially in women. Even more important in women than in men. Because during sleep, during recovery is when your body can actually regulate estrogen and progesterone, help change things with you. And I mean, I occasionally, I'll tell you right now, I occasionally get in trouble when I let people in my life sleep in a little bit because I want them to get their sleep because it's super important. I don't know who that person would be in this room, perhaps, but you need your sleep in that recovery. And this patient that came in, they said they had been horribly bad parent because they're and a really hard spouse to deal with as well because they're just tired. They don't feel good. Their back pain is killing them and they can't sleep, which then throws everything off, right? Right? It's a huge deal. Now, most people will want to throw different things at their low back pain too. They might want to take NSAIDs and anti-inflammatories. What's your take on that, Dr.
Well, I
Julie?
would say you have the foundation, right? If you think of chiropractic as communication,
Mm-hmm.
so we need to have the communication working in the body for us to be able to then use the NSAIDs, to use the PT, to do all these other things.
Yeah.
Because if we do all those other things, they're just doing the things.
Mm-hmm.
They're just brushing the surface.
Mm-hmm.
We need the communication to be able to tell the body what to do. So when we give the NSAIDs, when we take the pain relievers, then the body can actually use it.
Yeah, and I've told patients I've taken a non-steroidal every now and then. What do you mean? Like I'll talk to chiropractors and they think I'm going to burst into flames. But here's the thing, like I can take the smallest dose of ibuprofen, one tablet, which most people would be like, you got to be kidding me. One tablet, 150 milligrams of it, and it lasts me 12 hours. 12 hours. Wow. Like that's because I don't take it.
Mhm.
And it's extremely effective when I do. I'm not taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a day, eating them like candy, which should alarm you. Like if you find yourself out there and you're taking things, different things to help fight the pain, and you're constantly taking them for days and then weeks and months on end, and it's become part of your routine, you should know immediately that you need to change that, and then that's not okay, and that things are going to get really bad for you in a short time. Wouldn't you agree?
Mhm. Yeah, and it's right, everything in moderation. But as you were talking, I was thinking that, if you only need that one ibuprofen or whatever that we're taking, right,
Mm-hmm.
that helps to take the edge off, so then we can be able to relax, then we can sleep, so then our body can get the rest to be able to heal. The struggle, however, is when we take so many of those things and we start to feel better before the body is actually caught up to that. And then that's when we constantly get this reoccurring where we overdo the low back pain, or we
Mm-hmm.
we over accentuate the accidents that we have.
Get caught up to it. Your body
Mhm.
develops a tolerance, and there are really amazing products out there that are natural, that actually are occurring in the environment. Different botanicals, different herbs,
Mhm.
different things you can take along with magnesium. There's curcumin. There's
Yeah.
quercetin. There is
Turmeric, boswellia.
turmeric. Yep,
Yeah.
boswellia, blackcurrant seed oil. Different amazingly great anti-inflammatories other than the garbage you can buy over the counter somewhere, and they're extremely effective. They don't have nearly the amount of side effects on your body, if any, and you can actually recover. The other thing too is, like we've talked about a couple podcasts ago, is hydration. And we can take hydration to the bank and talk about it. I think we could talk about hydration in every episode, because if you're not hydrated, your joints are, in essence, dehydrated, don't have enough water, can't stay lubricated, inflamed, can't wash themselves out, which then causes chronic pain. And if we would just increase our water intake, good water intake, your body would do so much better.
I was just thinking of like a creaky door hinge. Like that's literally what we're doing to our joints when we're not hydrated. And
Yeah,
so
you're
what do you
right.
do when you have the noisy door? You put liquid in it. You put WD-40 in it, right, to lubricate
Mm-hmm.
the hinge. And so that's what we need to do for our bodies too.
No more eat your eat
Yeah.
your eat your eat. And some of you sound like that going up and down your steps. My knee did that the other day, and you're like, "Oh my lord, pop! I got a bad knee and needs some help." So I hope you guys found this episode really good. It was just different to talk about low back pain. I think honestly, in the 3 years me and you have been doing this, and the over 6 that I've been doing it myself, I've never once talked about low back pain. It's been in regards to pregnancy, but it on its own, we never really talked about.
It's just as important.
It's just as important, and that is a 100% alarm telling you your systems aren't working correctly. So see a chiropractor, get it checked out. Give us a call here at Prime Family Centers, or just email us. Like if you're somewhere else in the country and you need to find a good chiro, we're here for you. Anything else, Dr. Julie? You guys go out, having a wonderful day, have an amazing week, and we're here for you when you need us. Bye, everyone.